cause, and in your deen allow me to advance. Help me in my quest, permit me to pass the ultimate test. Help me in my quest, permit me to pass the ultimate test.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على المبعوث رحمة للعالمين نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. أما بعد, dear brothers and sisters in Islam, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome to this new episode coming to you live from Huda Studios here in Cairo, Egypt. It's a privilege for me and an honor to be back on this program after so many years, and it's nice to be here again. May Allah Azza wa Jal bless this channel and those who are funding it, sponsoring it, and working in it. Ameen. Our first question for tonight, and you will see the numbers inshallah displayed at the bottom of the screens. I'm not as good as Sheikh Dr. Muhammad Salah in reading them. He's younger than me, but inshallah you can do the math. Abdurrahman says, what if I do not run my fingers through my beard during wudu? We know that there are pillars of performing wudu. So washing the face, washing the arms till the elbows, wiping over the head, and washing the feet. The order of this actions or these actions, and it's to be simultaneous. So if I wash my face, scholars say your beard is one of two. Either it is thin, meaning that you can see the skin underneath it, which is not the case with my beard, alhamdulillah. So if you can see the skin underneath it, then you have to wash it and what's underneath this beard, so that you ensure that the water reaches your skin, which is apparent. But if it's a thick beard, what is the ruling? Different of opinion among scholars. Some say that washing the face includes what you can see from it, but what goes underneath a thick beard would be very difficult, if not impossible. Others say, no, you have to wash it, because it was proven authentic that the Prophet ﷺ, whenever he performed wudu, he would take a handful of water and put it underneath his beard. But this again is washing the inside of this side, not the sides here and there, which may lead us to conclude that the most authentic opinion is the opinion of the majority of scholars, that putting water in your hand and putting your fingers throughout your thick beard is not mandatory, but it is surely a very highly recommended sunnah that people should not neglect. Okay, we have a caller. Brother Muhammad from Egypt.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Akhi Muhammad. Yes, Akhi, what can I do for you?
Sheikh Asim, I know you're not expecting this call, and it was an engineer. This is Muhammad Salah. I'm sitting here in the studio and I'm watching you. And trust me, I'm very, very pleased to see you sitting there where you deserve. May Allah bless you and your family.
Ameen.
And may Allah benefit with you and your knowledge.
Ameen.
And Sheikh Asim, you know, it's such an honor to be blessed by Allah the Almighty to serve the Ummah for so many years, educate them in other than Arabic, in the English language, answering tons of questions. We ask Allah the Almighty to accept from all of us, from you, from myself, and all our colleagues.
Ameen.
There is a very big concern after 16 years presenting on Huda TV, Sheikh Asim, which is the concern that still a lot of people inquire about, do I have to follow a particular madhab, especially people with certain ethnicities coming from a particular background. Unfortunately, giving precedence to a madhab over the sound and the authentic sunnah. That is something I'm very certain that you've tackled before repeatedly, as well as myself. I would really love to hear from you so that you can educate me and the viewers likewise in this concern. Also, a word of advice, especially for those who are living in the West Europe and the US and North America in general. When they hear from here and there, you should be listening to this person and should not be listening to this person, pick and choose, and vouching the credibility of certain people based on particular categorizations, which is not really based on is on the right path or not, but to be a specific, to be specifically following a particular group or sect. I would really appreciate if you can take some of your very precious time to tackle this matter or these two matters, please. And once again, thank you so much for accepting our invitation here and presenting the program today. May Allah bless you and your family.
Ameen. Ameen. Jazakallah khair, Dr. Muhammad Salah. And I have to admit, I was hesitant and reluctant to take your seat. Jazakallah khair. Your contribution to Huda TV is not matched by any of us. MashaAllah, your dedication, your sincerity. وَلَا نُزَكِّيكَ عَلَى اللَّهِ عَزَّ وَجَلَّ وَاللَّهُ حَسِيبُكَ. That you devoted your time, your effort, and your money for this channel to be ongoing. And by far, Huda TV is one of the channels that is a beacon of light for every Muslim home. It has been like this, and it will inshallah continue to be like this with the sincere dedication of Dr. Muhammad Salah and his brothers working in this channel to keep the good work going, alhamdulillah. As for what my friend and dear brother Dr. Muhammad Salah has asked me to comment on, I'm afraid that this might take most of the time, and we spoke about this so many times, and those who know me know my approach to it. But because it's a request of a dear brother, I will not hesitate, inshallah, to comment in a nutshell. What are you? I'm a Muslim. What kind of a Muslim? I don't see any kind or kinds of Muslims in the Quran, nor in the Sunnah. I'm a Muslim who follows the Quran and the Sunnah with the understanding of the three favorite generations whom the Prophet described alayhi salatu wasalam to say, the best of generation is my generation, companions, and the generation that follows them, tabi'een, and the generation that follows them, tabi'it tabi'een. So you cannot come nowadays and understand the Sharia, the Quran, the Sunnah with your own intellect. It has to be based on the understanding of those who were close to the Prophet ﷺ. So any Tom, Dick, or Harry who claims that Gog and Magog, Ya'juj and Ma'juj, were zombies or werewolves or Draculas, this is insane. So do I have to follow a particular madhab? Well, this depends. All four schools of thought are great schools of thought. They are followers of great Imams of the Deen. Imam Abu Hanifa al-Nu'man, Imam Malik ibn Anas, Imam Muhammad ibn Idris al-Shafi'i, Imam Ahmad ibn Muhammad ibn Hanbal. May Allah have mercy on them all. But they were not the only scholars and imams of their era. There was Imam al-Thawri, there was Imam Abdullah ibn Mubarak, there was al-Awza'i, there was Sa'd ibn al-Layth, so many of them. So Islam is not exclusive to these four schools of thought. And this is why Allah spoke to us. And He said, whenever you dispute over an issue, refer it back to Allah and to the Rasul, the Prophet ﷺ, meaning refer it back to Quran and Sunnah. Our methodology is that we are not infallible. We are human beings. Dr. Muhammad Salah, myself, any other da'i. We are not scholars. We are students of knowledge. Even real scholars of our times, like Sheikh bin Baz, bin Uthaymeen, and Sheikh al-Albani, great scholars of Islam, they're not infallible. Yet They have the real knowledge. You want to seek knowledge? Seek knowledge through such great scholars while cross-examining it with the Quran and Sunnah. Nowadays we have new generation of da'is who have done a lot of good work, alhamdulillah. But unfortunately, they keep on camouflaging themselves, changing colors. I don't know why or how, but it's very difficult nowadays under the pressure of the media and of other sources. It's difficult to be steadfast, to continue to hold the torch of calling people to Quran and Sunnah with understanding of the Salaf, to continue holding the torch of avoiding violence and being rude or arrogant, to continue carrying the torch of educating people to love Allah, not to love me, not to love Tom, Dick, or Harry, not to abide by what we say, but rather to abide by the Sharia laws. If you see people abide by this, follow them. And when you see people are deviated, go out of their path, insist it's either my way or the highway, and they are not complying with the Quran and the Sunnah, you should put question marks and raise flags and be careful. Because like Muhammad ibn Sirin said, may Allah have mercy on his soul, Inna hadha al-ilma deen. This knowledge is religion. So you have to know who you're taking your religion from. You have to cross-examine people. So it is not one school of thought that we should follow. We respect all schools of thought. But if you are told that this is the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, and you say, yes, but Imam so-and-so says otherwise, in this case, you're choosing to follow the Imam, not the Prophet ﷺ. And this is why Al-Imam Al-Shafi'i once narrated the hadith. And a man stood and said, okay, Imam Shafi'i, what do you say? And Imam Shafi'i was outraged. He said, do you see me wearing a cross? Do you see me wearing the belt of monks? I tell you, the Prophet said so and so. And you say that, what is your opinion? Who has an opinion with the Prophet ﷺ? So I hope this, in a nutshell, answers your request, my dear brother Muhammad Salah. And may Allah Azza wa Jal reward you and make me and you steadfast on the straight path. I didn't get to that, Akhi. Is it a call or a break? Okay, we have a short break. Stay tuned, and inshallah we'll be right back.
Did you renew your intentions today? Issues around the heart.
How to be a leader, how to understand yourself and others.
Community is a diverse group of people. How will you deal with the problems?
Charity begins at home, as a proverb would say. How can we make a successful family among ourselves?
Communication skills is one of the most important things that you should know.
How do we deal with the many conflicts in our lives today?
Join us on Huda TV in Youth Matters, where we'll talk about different aspects and subjects related to youth and highlight the importance of youth in the development of the Ummah.
توكلنا على الله ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله.
Anas, may Allah be pleased with him, reported, The Messenger of Allah, peace be upon him, said, whoever says, upon leaving his house, Bismillah, tawakkaltu ala Allah, wala hawla wala quwwata illa billah. I begin with the name of Allah. I trust in Allah. There is no altering of conditions but by the power of Allah. It will be said to him, you are guided, defended, and protected. The devil will go far away from him.
يتدبرون القرآن.
One day the Prophet ﷺ came out to the companions radiallahu anhum, and he said to them, don't you bear witness that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the only one worthy of worship and he has no partners? Don't you bear witness that I am the messenger of Allah? Don't you bear witness that the Quran is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? So the companions radiallahu anhum, they said, yes, O Prophet of Allah. Then the Prophet ﷺ said, فَأَبْشِرُوا, have the glad tidings, the great news as a result of this. Because the Quran has two ends to it. One end with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and one end in your hands. Then he said to them alayhi salatu wassalam, فَتَمَسَّكُوا بِهِ, hold fast to it, because you would never be led astray and you would never be perished if you're holding fast to the book of Allah. Because of that, join us every week in Quran in Depth, where we recite and reflect and ponder over the verses of the Quran. We go in depth into the verses, following the ways of the Prophet ﷺ and the companions radiallahu anhum, when they used to take the verses, one set of verses after another. They would recite it, they would reflect upon the meanings of it, and they would act according to it, and then they would go to the next set of verses. Join us every week in Quran in Depth, so that we would recite and reflect and learn more about the book of Allah. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless our life and to make us among those who follow the Quran and the way of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, and welcome back. We have Sister Hayat from Ethiopia. Hayat.
All right, Assalamu alaikum.
Salam wa rahmatullah.
Sheikh, I have two questions for you. One is for myself and one is for my little sister.
Okay.
One is for myself and one is for my little sister.
Okay, your question, please.
Okay, my question is, I wanted an explanation on istikhara prayer. I made it for someone I wanted to marry, and the signs showed that maybe it wasn't the best for me. But I haven't felt content about that after I made the prayer. So how I should proceed following this, I would like your advice on that.
Okay.
And the second question is, my little sister has problems when she makes her wudu. She has waswas and she keeps on making wudu 2-3 times per salah, and she prays again and again. And we've tried reciting the Quran for her and taking her to masjids to help her, but it's been a very long time, almost 3 years now, and it's getting worse and worse by the day.
Okay.
So I was wondering how we could help her.
Okay. I will answer you, inshallah, Hayat.
Thank you very much. Jazakallah.
Barakallah fiki. We have Amatullah from Egypt. Amatullah?
Hello?
Yes. Listen to me from the TV and well, actually, listen to me from your phone and mute your TV,
Yes.
please.
Okay, 1 second, I'm sorry.
Okay, you hear it now? Is it
Yeah.
better?
Okay. Mute your TV and go ahead. What's your
Yes.
question?
Yes. Well, I have a couple of questions, inshallah. The first question is my husband committing fornication? He watches porn videos.
Okay.
And the second one is, can I reject him in bed if he watches these videos or if he hits me?
Can you what?
For any reason?
Can you
Can
what?
I reject him? Can I
Okay.
reject him in intimacy?
Okay.
If he watches these videos or if we're having a problem and he hits me?
Okay.
And also, am I committing fornication myself if I still have intimacy with him if he doesn't pray? I mean,
She doesn't pray. He doesn't pray at all.
I can't really see him. I mean, he'll go to the sign once in a while.
Your line is breaking, Amatullah. But
You hear me now?
yeah.
I said he prays, but not not constantly like me, you know.
Right.
I mean, once in a while he'll go to the masjid, sign under the Fisa in Cairo where we live, and he'll pray. But he don't when I keep bringing up the situation.
Okay. I will answer you, inshallah. Any more questions?
Yes, I'm sorry. What was I have it as listed. Wait, yeah, how do you exactly say it? Because he didn't understand what I meant when I said dinner. I don't know if I'm saying it exactly the right way.
To say what?
Fornication and
Zina.
zina.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I told him, but he what I meant. But then if I want to divorce him, in the last 3 months, I still have to stay with him during those 3 cycles. Do I still have to take care of him?
Okay.
Or like even still like have intimacy with him?
Okay.
During those 3 months?
Okay.
Okay, that's it for now, for today.
Okay. I'll answer you, inshallah.
Inshallah. Thank
Barakallah.
you.
Hayyakumullah. So, Hayat from Ethiopia is asking about istikhara. One of the greatest misconceptions among people, among Muslims, is that when they pray istikhara, they anticipate a dream or a sign from Allah Azza wa Jal. And this is not related to istikhara. Istikhara is to make your due diligence, to investigate, to start firmly thinking that this opinion, this option is the best of all other options. So you opt for it, you select it. Now, I pray istikhara, 2 rak'ahs, I make the dua, Allahumma inni astakhiruka bi'ilmik, I seek your choice through your knowledge. And you say the dua. And you move on, you proceed. Now, if there is good in it for you, because you chose this and you went ahead with it after praying istikhara, Allah will facilitate it and will it happen. If there's nothing good in it for you, Allah would make it difficult and you'll be turned off and you'll choose something else. So it is not a sign that you see or seek. It's not a dead cat that you find out your doorsteps or a wedding that passes and makes everything happy for you and for your family. It is to go ahead with this marriage. If you did your due diligence, if you checked on the boy, he's righteous, he's practicing, his moral conduct is good, he has a good job, financially he's stable, his family is okay, you have a separate home of your own, you're not to live with your in-laws, what more do you want? He's a good person, go ahead for it. What about this feeling that I'm having? What about this chest that I feel that it is getting tighter and tighter? This is from shaitan. This is from shaitan because this is a good proposal and you both will be or will become a good couple. But if there's something else that came up after istikhara, like the guy smokes, or the guy is insincere, or he flirts with women, or he has rage fits, or he's stingy, these are all part of the signs that may help you reject such a proposal, and Allah Azza wa Jal knows best. Her second question, Hayat says that her sister has an OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder, in wudu and in praying. And she repeats the prayer over and over again, probably spends like an hour in the bathroom making wudu, then making another wudu and a third and a fourth. This type of OCD is quite common among the Muslims. And the reason is that shaitan is trying his level best to divert them from the straight path. So you are a good Muslim. You pray on time. This doesn't go down well the throat of shaitan. So what he comes up with, he analyzes your personality. If you are a person who is really easygoing, careless, neglectful, then he will tell you to delay a prayer and pray it with the second one, or combine all prayers at the end of the day. If you wash half of your arm and you leave the other half, he comes to you and says, it's okay, move on. Allah is most forgiving. And slowly, he will make you abandon salat. If he finds, after analyzing your personality and your character, that you have strong iman and you're careful in performing things according to the sunnah, and you're keen on taking religion with strength and power, he makes you exaggerate things. He makes you go overboard. So washing your limbs 3 times, no, this is for laymen. Making them 5 is best. Washing them 7 times is best. I finished washing my body. No, maybe you missed something. Just to be safe rather than sorry, do it over again. Tell you what, why not perform ghusl instead of wudu? This is even purer. And he keeps on doing this until he messes totally up with your mind. You pray, and just before the salam, he says, maybe you forgot a sajda. Maybe you mispronounced the Fatiha. Tell you what, let's do it all over again. And he keeps on doing this until you reach the breaking point and you are in despair, you give up, and you don't pray anymore. All of this is the handiwork of shaitan. This is the blueprint of shaitan. And I see this every single day. I meet so many people with such OCD, an obsession about everything. And I can see how shaitan is messing up big time with their minds. May Allah Azza wa Jal cure them all. So, Shaykh, in a nutshell, what to do? Well, the first thing is you have to communicate. See, if a person is not convinced from inside that there is something wrong and that it needs help, then you cannot help those people. See, a lot of the people have BPD, which is borderline personality disorder. And one of the characteristics of this disorder is that people don't think or believe that they're doing wrong or saying things that are wrong. If people are like this, how can you cure them? You need to have counseling sessions, a number of them, to convince, to logic, and to bring them down to reality. Then they will understand. So, Hayat, I believe you need to put your sister down, speak to her in a number of sessions, telling her who is having a good time, who's laughing his head off when you make wudu more than once, when you spend in wudu more than 4 or 5 minutes. The only one who's laughing and having a good time is shaitan. So whenever someone comes and tells you your prayer is not valid, you might have missed something, ask yourself, is this an angel inspiring me and telling me to repeat the prayer because the angel loves me? Or is this shaitan messing up with my mind? And the answer would be definitely shaitan is messing up with your mind big time, and you have to avoid that. And Allah Azza wa Jal knows best. We have a caller, Haj from Gambia.
We have a caller.
Haj
from Gambia.
Mute your TV, please. Alaikum salam. Mute your TV totally and listen to me from the phone only.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, what can I do for you, Haj?
Actually, about the prayers time, you know, in our country here, Gambia, we have this misconception about prayers time.
Okay.
So the early hours of the prayers, some pray by that time.
Okay.
Some go for the second time.
Okay. And who decides which is the first of the time and the end of the time?
So normally those who pray first time, we pray around 1 o'clock the Gambian time here, or so many past our Gambian time here.
Okay. So what
is it?
So
the second hour, that is 2 o'clock Gambian time here. Some pray so many past 2.
Okay.
So those praying by 2 sees that those pray the early hours of the time.
طيب. I will answer your question. Any more questions? Okay, we've lost Hajj, but I think he made his question clear. I will answer his question, inshallah. Amatullah from Egypt. Question number 1. Her husband watches blue movies, pornography. So she says that she's hurt because of that. Is he committing fornication? The answer is no. This is not fornication nor adultery. It's a sin. And it is something that is prohibited. But it is neither pornography, fornication, nor adultery, because that requires penetration and sexual intercourse, and this is only the fornication of the eyes. He's sinful, and he'll be punished for that. She says, can I reject him? Okay, you tell me, Amatullah. You have 2 options. 1, to reject him, and 2, not to reject him. If you reject him, what do you think would happen? Usually, those who watch pornography would have to do something to relieve themselves from the tension and from the desire they're getting. If they go to the halal means of doing so, and that is his spouse, and she rejects him, first of all, the angels curses her till morning. Regardless, you're not afraid of STDs. The guy is just watching, he's not doing. Secondly, you force him, you push him to look for fulfilling his sexual drive, sexual desire elsewhere, whether through a prostitute, wal-'iyadhu billah, a girlfriend, may Allah protect us, or through marrying a second wife. So the second option is the best option, and that is try to fulfill his sexual desire in a halal way. You are his wife. But not only that, most likely he did not watch pornography except because his iman is low and because you are not doing your job. If you were doing your job as a wife by taking good care of yourself, by exhausting him in the bedroom, so do it 2 or 3 times a day if he has the power to do that. When you drain him totally, he wouldn't even look at a hijabi woman, let alone pornography. So you have to analyze and see what is happening so that you can fix it before it's too late. We have a caller. Musa from the Emirates. Musa.
نعم شيخ.
حياك الله أخي. What can I do for you?
نعم شيخ. How are you, Sheikh?
I'm fine, alhamdulillah. Jazakallah khair.
نعم Sheikh. I have a question here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
How will I know that my business has reached the level of paying zakat al-mal?
How do what?
How will I my business has come to the level of paying zakat al-mal?
Okay, what is your business? What is
just starting a small business, so I want to know if this business, it has a certain percentage that if you reach to such an amount of money, okay?
Yes, what kind of business? Do you sell products? Do you produce and manufacture? Do you only provide services?
I have a salon.
You have what, akhi?
A salon for hair cutting.
Okay, okay. Okay, I will answer your question. Any more questions?
Inshallah, jazakallah khair.
Barakallahu feek. Amatullah's third question. She says that if my husband does not pray frequently, he's not regular on his prayers, so would I be fornicating if I sleep with him? The answer is no. He's still a Muslim, though a sinful Muslim and in great danger. If he does not pray a single prayer and he's defiant, we tell him pray, he says nope, I don't want to pray, I don't believe in praying, this guy is a kafir. You should immediately split and leave him and file for divorce. But if he's praying on and off, he's a Muslim, but he's a sinful Muslim, you need to approach him differently. And Amatullah, to tell you the truth, with a marriage such as yours, you do need to have counseling. You do need to know where you are going wrong, because every person has a key to his heart. Some men have a key to their stomachs instead of their hearts. So it is your obligation to change your strategy. If your current strategy or your past strategy is not sufficient, is not efficient, and it's not working, this means that you need to change your strategy. You cannot maintain the way you're dealing with your husband because it's not working out, and inevitably you will resent him and he will not love you, and then the marriage will break. This is something we do not want. So you have to try to understand how he thinks. Try to listen from someone else if what you're doing is right or wrong, and how to change your approach. Then this might help, inshallah. Her last question was, if divorce takes place and in the 3 months of the iddah, waiting period, should I take care of him and should I have intimacy with him? First of all, when a divorce takes place for the first or second time, the iddah, or the waiting period, is generally speaking 3 monthly cycles and not 3 months of 90 days. Sometimes women can get 3 monthly cycles in 2 months. She gets 3 menses in 2 months, and sometimes in less than that. But the 3 months cycle period, which is 90 days, this is for women who had reached the menopause, or those who do not have menses to begin with. So for you, during this period, if this is the first or second divorce, you are still his wife. You take care of him, you adorn yourself, you wear your best of clothes and wear the best of perfumes, but there is no hanky-panky, none whatsoever. No intimacy, no touching, no kissing, no hugging, unless he says it clearly that he's revoking the divorce and reconciling with you. Other than that, it is not permissible to take care of him. Yes, you're his wife. You cook, you clean, you iron. If he dies while you are in this iddah period or waiting period, you inherit him. And if you die, he inherits you. So you're still man and wife, with the exception of issues of intimacy. Hajj from Gambia, or the Gambia, he says that people pray in the beginning of the time, and some people pray at the end of the time, and he doesn't know what's happening. Akhi, you should know what's happening, because this is part of the religion that you have no excuse not to know. See, in Islam, there are things that you must know as a Muslim. If someone says, Wallahi, I didn't know that prostrating to the statue of Buddha nullifies my Islam, this is tough bananas. This knowledge is not elective. This is mandatory. This is essential. It's part of your Islam. If someone says, I didn't know that 5 times we should pray. Well, akhi, these are the pillars of Islam. You have to know. So there is this knowledge that each and every individual is not exempted from not knowing. You must know. But there are these types of knowledge that are optional. So someone who does not sell and buy, He doesn't need to know what is the bay'ul gharar, the ambiguous transactions, the different kinds of ina, or the different types of riba, etc. Because he doesn't have money to buy and sell. We don't say, yes, you don't have money, but you must tell me what the rulings are. No. So for you, as a Muslim, you need to know that each one of the 5 daily prayers has a beginning of the time and has an end to each time. In between, you are allowed and permitted to pray. And if you pray at the beginning, this is good. And if you pray in the middle, this is good. And if you pray at the very end, this is permissible, but maybe good, maybe not, depending on the salat. So once you learn this piece of information, and it doesn't take you more than 3 to 5 minutes to learn it, then you will find things to be easy, inshallah. We have a caller. Ali from Germany. Ali.
Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. V. Gates.
I have a question, and I'm living in Germany, and actually, if you know, in Europe, not just in Germany, we do have something called social.
Called what?
Money from government. Social money. Social money.
I don't understand.
The social money that you can get every month, some money from the government. Even
Okay.
if you are not working.
Benefits, you mean? Benefits and social security.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
So my question now is, if we are here and we are not working and we are able to work, I mean, we have this health to go and work, but we still getting this benefit from the government, is that halal or haram?
Okay. Any more questions?
No, that's all.
Okay. Hasib from Bangladesh. Hasib Bhai. Salamullah.
Hear me?
Very, very hypnotizing.
Do you hear me?
Yes, your voice is hypnotizing, Akhi. Have some energy. Yes, Hasib.
I can't hear you, sir.
Okay, I think we have a problem. Let Hasib call, inshallah, later on. Barakallah. طيب. I can't even read my handwriting. I think Musa from the Emirates, he's asking about zakat and how to know what is the threshold of the zakat and how to pay money over his business. And this is frequently asked question. And unfortunately, people do not realize that not every business requires zakat. So for example, I have $1 million, I wish, and I make a company or an establishment that is totally owned by me. And I furnish the building, I rent a building, I get employees to work in my building, and every year there's no zakat on it. What about the $1 million, Sheikh? Well, the $1 million were invested in the premises, in the furniture, in the cars, and in the telephone line, the lease line, etc., the computers. But the essence or the work of this company is consultation. So people call in and say, we have a business, we need a consultant to come and make a roadmap for us on how to progress in our business. So my employee goes and sits with them for a couple of weeks, puts a roadmap and a strategy, a mission, a vision, blah, 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 and they pay him an amount of money. I take the amount of money and I expand and spend it. At the end of the year, I don't have savings. I don't have fixed assets that are sold and bought. So I'm not a merchant. I'm not a trader. I give services. I give consultations. There's no zakat in it. Those who have a factory or that is $100 million worth of machinery and property and etc., what is zakatable is what is produced. So if we produce and in the warehouse we have goods worth of $1 million, then this $1 million is zakatable, but not the other 99 million of the premises and the machinery, etc. For a person who has a saloon, I'm assuming that the work is halal, meaning that it is a saloon for men. It's a barber's shop. So they only cut hair and they do haircuts that are halal. They don't shave the beard. They don't pluck the eyebrows, etc. This is permissible. There is no zakat. The chair, the hair dryers, the jill, the blades, whatever, there's no zakat on that. The zakat is on your revenue. So after 1 year of collecting profit and money, we look at the money in the bank account. If it is more than, let's say, $300 or $400, the value of 595 grams of silver, then you give 2.5% every year on that particular day. And Allah Azza wa Jal knows best. We have a caller. Ibrahim from Gambia.
Yes.
Yes, Ibrahim.
Hello, assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Yes, I'm calling from the Gambia. Somebody called a moment ago, calling from the Gambia to ask about the time of the prayer.
Yes.
Yes, he's right. We do have conflicting time, praying time in the Gambia here.
Okay, explain.
Yes, what I want to know is, you know, we are all Muslim and we all pray to the same God, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Correct.
Yes, does that mean that we should pray, you know, every country has its own time?
Give example, yeah, Ibrahim.
Yes, whether we should be praying with Saudi Arabia at the same time, or should we pray in our own time too? Because when we watch Saudi TV, there are times that they display on their screen below.
Okay.
Yes, and tell every country the time that exactly they should pray with Saudi Arabia. So, but we don't usually follow that here. We only pray on 2 o'clock. Some others pray half past 1, and others pray 10 past 2. So what I'm asking, is it right to pray with Saudi Arabia, or should we still follow the praying time that we usually pray here in the Gambia?
Okay, I will answer you, inshallah.
Okay, thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa barakatuh. Okay, Musa, we've answered his question. Ali from Germany, he says, and this is a big problem, Ali, a lot of the immigrants who go to Germany, to UK, to Finland, and I don't need to mention which continent, but they are well known. The moment they go in, they do not work. Some of them even tear their passports and apply for asylum. And they sit there, they take benefits for unemployment from the government, and unfortunately cheat and lie and deceit the government that's paying them, because it's a kafir government, and they work without declaring that they have a job. They take their wages in cash, so they don't have to register that and be deprived of unemployment. And they're married and they register themselves as single or even single parent. A Muslim does not do this. And such people are the worst representation of Islam. Such people tarnish the reputation of Islam and the Muslims. In a sense, they are professional beggars. They extend their lower hand, and Allah tells us that the upper hand is better than the lower hand. They have the audacity to go and say, yes, give us money, this is our right. It's not your right. You are just a liar and a cheater. Yes, if you're looking for a suitable job and you do your best to work in a halal job and you're unable to find one, meanwhile the government is giving you money, there's no problem. But if the government says this is a job for you, and you go and you flunk it deliberately, and then they give you another job and you decline because physically you're not fit, so you claim, and you go for a third and a fourth, and you continue to live in their houses, to take their benefits while doing nothing, this is definitely haram and you are sinful. Now, Ibrahim from the Gambia, I don't know if we have enough time for this, but I'll do my best. Akhi, you are in a different country. your sunrise and sunset are different to the sunrise and sunset of mine when I'm in Saudi Arabia. So you can't follow the timings of prayer in Saudi Arabia, because in Islam, each one of us Muslims, 1.8 billion, our prayer time is dependent on our location. So if I'm here in Cairo, Egypt, or tomorrow if I'm in the Emirates, in Dubai, or if I'm in LA, Los Angeles, in California, the time of prayer is dedicated or dictated by the position of the sun. So Jibreel, peace be upon him, came to the Prophet ﷺ when he was in Mecca, and he prayed 2 days, leading the Prophet ﷺ in prayer. In the first day, he prayed as soon as the dawn broke. So when the break of dawn, when the horizontal line of true Fajr appears, he started praying Fajr. The following day, he waited until the sun was about to rise. It did not rise yet. The whole sky was lit, but the sun ring itself did not rise. And he prayed it then. And he told the Prophet ﷺ that prayer of Fajr is between these two times, which is approximately an hour plus, which means that if you pray in the beginning of time, middle of time, end of time, it's okay. Dhuhr time, he prayed when the sun was off its zenith. So the sun rises, and if you have an erect object, the shadow of it is reduced in size until the sun becomes in the middle of the sky and the erect object has no shade. Once it goes a little bit to the west and the erected object has a shadow to the east, this is the time of Dhuhr. And this time extends for about 2 to 3 hours until the shade of an erect object is equal to it. Once the shade is equal to the erect object, then this is the time of Asr. The time of Dhuhr is over. So these 3 hours is okay for you to pray Dhuhr in the beginning, which is 12:30 or 1:30 or 2:30 or even 3:15, depending when the time is over. Asr, from this time until the sun sets. Maghrib is from the sunset until the redness of the zenith at the west disappears, so there's no redness in the horizon. Isha, from that disappearance time until the middle of the night, and these are the times of prayer that you have flexibility in praying, whether in the beginning, middle, or the end. I'm afraid that we have to wrap it up and to end our episode. So until we meet next time, I leave you fi amanillah. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Allah is my heart's speech. Your mercy is what I beseech. Keep in my heart your remembrance.